Good morning. How is everybody doing? If you're finding me for the first time, my name is Penny, and I'm over there on YouTube. If you've not liked my or subscribed or liked my page, please do that. So what I do, I come here probably 6 days a week to inspire one person, to encourage one person, to teach one person, and I hope you learn something that is going to change your life in your personal space. I do this because I'm sharing my personal space. These are things I do. These are things I practice. So I'm choosing to bring you into my personal space to share my journey with you, hoping that's going to encourage you, because I talk to myself a lot, and now I choose to talk to you guys. So today, all my faithful followers, Paris and Grace, you guys will be the first one when I land in that Nairobi. We do lunch. Lynette, how are you? Thank you guys so much. So if you're finding me for the first time, please like my page, and if you are my frequent flyer, like my page and share this video. So if you're new, on Monday we talk about goals, on Tuesday we are here and there, on Wednesday we talk about gratitude, on Thursday we talk about procrastination, why you keep saying you're going to do something and you're not going to do this. You keep saying you're going to do something and you really never do it. So today we want to talk about changing friends and the people you surround yourself with. That is very, very important. Let me tell you, if you've been watching me, so my vision is clear. Nora, good morning. Oh, I need the blue tick, Nora. This blue tick thing, I didn't even know it was a thing. Ebu, tell me, come me. I've never looked for the blue tick. I need to do that. So if you've been watching me, I like to talk about my father. And when we were talking one time, my father told me the reason why it is important to change friends, and the reason why it is important to move away from your relatives. So he gave me a story. My father was the first one to come out of poverty. He was the first one to buy a bike. He bought a bike so he could use the bike. He had opened like a gas station. This is back in the day in the 50s. And he used to use the bike from Nyamakoroto to go all the way to Kisumu. I mean, not Kisumu, to Gesima, so he can go to the posho mill. He was the first person back in the day to bring the posho mill to the women. My father was a great man. He bought a bike. And somebody wants to talk to me? I'll talk to you later, Paul. Yeah. Okay? So he bought a bike. Yeah, I'll do that blue tick thing. So he bought a bike. So his brother, my uncle Ombati, would snatch that bike from him. For some reason, he comes home, he parks his bike, and his brother Ombati in particular will take this story. My father told me in 1997. He would take, when he came to America, he would take that bike from him. And sometimes after he rides the bike, he will not bring the bike. So when my father will wake up in the morning, so right now, these days, remember, he needed that bike not for luxury. He needed the bike so he can go to work. Marion, you are my faithful follower. Get ready with the notes, because I love the way you take notes with a piece of pen, paper and a pen. So, you know him, he was trying to go to work, and he was trying to come out of poverty. But his brother did not even look at that bike that way. So my father decided he was going to move. That is how I ended up in Nyando Chevere in 1972, going to 73. My father decided to move from his family. He packed his whole family. He bought land somewhere. When he moved there, where he moved to Nyando Chevere, he purchased 100 acres of land. This is back in the day. His neighbors also had 100 acres of land. Why did he move there? He said, he's told me, I'll speak in Kisi, then I'll translate. Iga abona sina goleto bolimo, abantu ababeskimu, obolimo bobo, kirumonto goleto bolimo ga igangwaka na arobolimo. Igo bono wika akole mirimo, olete wita kongura nyange, wika akole mirimo elinda akano bolimo. In English, my daughter, when I moved to settlement scheme, Nyando Chibere, everybody here has purchased land. If you have a mortgage on land, you have to go to work so you can pay for the land. So there is nobody who had time to snatch his bike. And at that time, by the time he's moving, he had expanded his business. He had extended like a gas station, a pump to sell paraffin. He was selling, he had the posho mill where that's how he met my mother, my mom, because my grandmother used to smear the posho mill for him, and it is my grandmother that gave my father my mom, because my grandmother was the lady that did the cleaning of the posho mill. Then he had extended to go into transport. They had started running buses from Kisi coming to Gesima, a bus that could connect people to Keroka. So he expanded his business. When he came to Nyando Chibere, he found other business people, the Mogakas, Okaru, the Bosires. The people across in Nyando Chibere were the upscale people. So he had to remove himself from the local people. You must remove yourself from the people that you originally know, who is your family members. That is your siblings. Because your siblings, you don't have the same drive with your siblings. All your brothers and sisters cannot be presidents. All your brothers and sisters are not going to be CEOs. Your family members, your siblings are not going to be as successful as you are. You all have different goals. So through my father, in fact, my father was a wise man. I learned that once I acquired a certain mindset, you've been watching me for 2 years, you cannot have the same friends. You keep those friends, they are there, but you cannot spend time with them. Now, the first thing they always try to ask, write it down. Your friends, the people that you've always known each other, they are going to ask, why is Penny succeeding and I'm not? And by the way, this Facebook page, in 2022, I earned money that I've never earned from a Facebook page or from my business, like never before. And I want you to know, none of my friends, and I've told you guys this before, none of the friends, the local friends where I live, watch me, except like 2 to 3 people. And these 2 to 3 people that watch me faithfully, they believe in me. When I see them, they think I'm it. They think I'm excelling. And they are happy in my space. And they're telling me, Penny, you're great. These are people, they are very few. Out of 90%, only 10 people in your group are going to tell you that you know what, you're excelling. And they watch me every day. So they are going to wonder, how come you're succeeding? If you were drinking, let's say you used to idle, you know, when you're younger, you're idling, and you decide now, I don't want to do this anymore. They're going to tell you you're pretending. Why are you acting like you don't want to drink anymore? Stop pretending. These same people, your siblings or your friends you've had for a long time after you've been transformed, they will put you down. They'll tell you, you know what? That is bullshit. You're not drinking. Why? You're starting a business. Who's going to buy your things? Because they are comfortable with you. Your siblings are comfortable with you to put you down because they're used to putting you down. Your local friends that you've had over the years, they're comfortable to put you down. They don't see anything in you. I just attended a conference, a business conference in Minnesota. The people were talking things I've never had. If you go to your friends and you're telling them these big things, they'll think you are imagining these things. But guess what? They're not used to do that. You've been watching me for 2 years and you've been transformed. These people are not watching me. How are you going to spend time with these people? Another thing, they're going to bring the past. They will say, this Penina is like this. So your siblings, your old friends, they are going to bring your past. They are going to remember when you used to drink and throw up. They are going to remember when you couldn't pay your rent. They are going to remember when you used to bounce checks. They are going to remember everything. People do not remember the good deeds, but people remember your bad deeds. Write that down. People do not remember the good things that you did together. They remember all the bad things, when you threw up, when you were thrown out of the club. They are going to bring your past every time you see them. They will never see the other side of you. Remember, you've been rehabilitating yourself. You've been reading books. You've worked on yourself. You are doing different things to improve. But they will bring the past. And you know what? The human mind is very delicate. If somebody keeps bringing the things you've done and you left those things and you're no longer doing it, it's going to affect you psychologically. Another thing, your way of thinking changes. You know, I can wake up tomorrow and I'm reading the book, The Power. I can wake up tomorrow and I'm a different person. In 2004, I read the book, The Secret. When I read the book, I didn't make all my siblings to read the book. I didn't make all my friends to read the book. I didn't make my husband to read the book. I did not make my children to read the book. I read the book by myself, The Secret. What is the secret? What you give is what you get. And that's what I try to give. I give positive energy. When I got a hold of this woman's book, second book, The Magic, when I read The Magic, I didn't read with my village in Nyando Chebere. I didn't read with my local community. I didn't read with my co-workers. I read the book, The Magic, by myself. I just passed it on to my sister Margaret. So if I have learned the magic, okay, how to be grateful, I've finished reading the book chapter to chapter and I am good. I'm thinking different. And now I have the power. If I have sat down and spoken to myself and I've told myself that, Penny, moving forward, your business is going to go this way. Penny, you're going to be a designer. Penny, you're going to be this. Penny, you're going to be this. Penny, you're going to be this. I'm talking to myself and I've read a book that is saying that I have the power. Where is my book? I have the power. I'm reading this book by myself. My way of thinking is going to be different. I decided to journal when I was in 6th grade. I journal. I write things every day. I was 10 years or 11 years old. I was the only one journaling. I was the only one saying, I want to be in this place. Okay? Now, I get friends who don't journal. Do they think this journal means anything? It does not mean anything to them. So how are you going to sit and tell them, but you know, if you journal, it's going to help you? No, I have read and I learned why I needed to journal and I started journaling. Okay? So now, I'm telling you today, Procrastination Thursday. You need to have friends of good character. Friends who have a conscience. Friends who know that you need to evolve. You cannot be the same yesterday. You need friends that you can depend on. Friends that you can call and tell them. You need to do an analysis of your friends. People you can call and say, I need this, and they're there. You need friends who you can call and they are able to give you wise counsel. You believe in them. You need friends that you add value and they add value to your life, not just taking away from them. You need friends who have a fear of God, because people who have no fear of anything, they are not very good friends. Sibia, good morning. You need God-fearing friends. Now, you can't tell these friends all these things. You can't verbalize it. Remember, what you say means so much. You just have to detach slowly. Don't say anything. Because if you say something now, you're talking too much. You don't say anything. You just start moving yourself back. And Facebook is very good, and these platforms. Go out there and start looking for friends that you have something in common. Look for friends who like to walk. Look for friends who are doing business. Look for friends who are encouraging you. Look for friends who want to eat well. Look for friends who are gardening. We have community gardens. We are going to go meet at the community garden. Find new friends. Those old friends, don't say anything. Because if you say something, they're going to be like, you know what? She thinks she's this. And let me tell you, in America, once you become a star, once you become like a big star, do you ever see stars living in their own neighborhoods? When you become a movie star or whatever star, you pack all your luggage, you get a U-Haul, and where do you move to? Everybody knows. Tell me where you move to when you become a star in America. Tell me, you guys know, put the answer there. Severe, tell me, once you become a star, where do you go? When you get to where the stars are, everybody is minding their business trying to produce. They don't have time for you. Stars or celebrities have no time to idle. They are waiting. They are just waiting to just finish whatever they are doing so they can go and produce. Stars, celebrities, they move. And finally, I met a young man in Florida with my sister. Margaret, you remember that guy we met in Florida at the orange farm? A young man that got a scholarship to go to college in Florida. While in college, a basketball scholarship, he was coming from the projects of Maryland. He decided, he met other children in college that had functional homes. His mom was on welfare. His mom was an alcoholic. She was taking drugs. But he decided that, you know what, I'm going to do well for myself. While there, he met a woman that came from a functional home. And you know, they started dating and they started, you know, talking about their life and everything. Before you know it, they are a couple. Before you know it, they are what? They are husband and wife, and they had 2 children. We found them spending quality time at the orange farm with their 2 children. And that guy told me, as he was being mentored out of the projects, he was told, don't forget the projects. Just move yourself from the projects. And he told me once a year, he packs his wife and children and he goes back to the projects. He rents a hotel somewhere. He spends quality time with his mother and his siblings briefly. And he told me the saddest thing, he finds them the same way he left them. And he told us there is nothing he can do to change the mother situation, the sibling situation. He removed himself. Don't forget where you're coming from. Don't run away from your villages. Don't run away from your friends. Visit them. Say hello to them. Attend their functions. But today, I'm just telling you on Procrastination Thursday, have a conscious mind. Because when your success starts coming, your language changes. When you're watching a motivational speaker, when you're reading scriptures, when you're reading a book, your mindset changes. Somebody who has not read the book is not going to think like you. Stop trying to make sense with people that don't understand your journey. You're the only one who understands your journey. You have to surround yourself with people who are in the same mindset, because you're going to speak the same language. When you succeed, you have to find people who are succeeding. When you're gardening, you have to find people who are gardening. And finally, I should have started with this saying, but this saying is what I finish it with. In Kisii, we have a saying that says, Bantu bamo bachayani. Again, my father used to tell me that people who are from together, who grew up in together, siblings, people in the same community, they have no respect for you. It's people out there that are going to respect you and elevate you. Your siblings are not going to elevate you. Your community is not going to elevate you. They will celebrate you once you succeed, because they are not willing to even elevate you. They don't even think you can be a somebody. As you're transforming to be a somebody is when they will start claiming you. Once you become a celebrity, once you become successful, your local people will start saying they know you. Penina is from my village. Penina is where she's. Penina is here. Penina. Because now you've succeeded. But they are not the people who are going to push you to succeed, because you're not speaking the same language. Change those friends. Change your surrounding. Change your thinking. You even have to move from where you are to do better. Cheers. God bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Please share this video and go to my YouTube channel and subscribe.